Okay, so good morning, everybody. At this outset, I would like to thank Dr. Pooja ma'am for making a part of this, me as a part of this IC, and AIS for such a wonderful virtual platform. So coming to my talk on this optic and principle of indirect optoscope. Now to start with, basically, this is the common indirect optoscope which we use in our day-to-day practice. It has this illuminating system, and then you have the headgear to fit on a head with a depth knob and slide knob. So basically, this whole concept of indictoscope was questioned and started in 1864 by Nasal. And the whole idea of indictoscope was to make your eye highly myopic by using a high power convex lens in front of the patient eye so that the real inverted and laterally reversed image is formed close to the principal foci of the lens, which lies somewhere between the lens and the observer. And since in this technique, we see the fundus indirectly through a condensing lens, so it was called indirect optoscope. So this is the basic concept why how you do indirect optoscope. Basically, you make the eye myopic by using a high power convex lens. Then the second principle which comes into play is that Gould-Strand principle. This is very important to do indirect optoscope, because if you can't master this principle, then always you have that glare reflection, you won't focus the retina. So what is this principle? Basically, this principle says that the illuminating beam, the beam which originates from your indirect optoscope, they passes through cornea, pupillary aperture, lens, and reaches the fundus. While the viewing beam, which is reflected back from the retina, which passes from the lens, pupillary aperture, and through the cornea, it reaches your eye. So these two beams, they should be parallel to each other throughout the pathway, except when they meet at the fundus. Because if they meet or collide anywhere in the pathway, it will cause scattering of light reflection and you won't be able to view the fundus. Only place where they meet is the fundus which you view. Then the third concept is that you have to decrease your IPD, the IPD which normally you have around 60 millimeter, that is decreased here around 15 millimeter by use of prism and mirror. This is the schematic diagram you can see. This is the IPD of the observer, and with the age of this reflecting mirror and the prism, it is decreased to 15 millimeter. So with these three principles, we start doing indirect optoscope. So what is the advantage? Since Dr. Shivani has said the same thing, so I'll just skip this slide. While you start doing indirect optoscope, you have to just remember that the lens with silver coating, that should face downward, that is towards the patient eye. And while you do the indirect optoscope, your hand, the index and the index finger and the thumb finger, they should hold the 20 diopter lens or whatever lens you are using, and the other fingers should act as the pivot or the fulcrum, which even helps to open the eyes. And with these two fingers, you have to move your lens up and down. Now various lenses are used, like 14 diopter, 20 diopter, 30 diopter, and as you increase this diopter of the lens, the magnification decrease, because magnification is basically calculated by the IL power, that is 60 diopter, and you divide the lens power which you are using. Like in case of 20 diopter, the magnification is down three times. But you have to remember, the more you magnify, the field of vision decreases. So with 14 diopter, you may have 3.8 magnification, but you will be only seeing the 35-40 degree of the retina. While in case of 20 diopter, it is around 41 degree of retina, and in 30 diopter, you see almost around 53 to 54 degree of the retina. So as you increase the diopter of the lens, the retina view increases, but the magnification decreases. This is as the same concept which we use in slit line biomicroscope, like as in 90 diopter and 78 diopter. Same concept is there. There's a video I have made. Whatever principle we have discussed till now, it is just while doing practically, I have shown it. Normally you do in indirect optoscope in dark room, but since I have to record this, so it was done in a illuminated room. Here this concept of binocularity comes, like since your IPD, normal IPD is more, but in IO have to adjust so that you have a good binocularity and depth of view.
Dr. Vishal, we cannot hear any audio in the video.
Okay, no audio is there. Okay, okay,
No.
okay, fine, fine. Is it audible now?
No, still
Okay,
not.
okay. I'll then explain. Yeah, basically, yeah.
Dr. Vishal, I'll be speaking more on the technique.
Okay, okay. So I'll just skip this video because we have
you
discussed that
very
illuminating.
nicely
Okay,
explained
okay.
the
Okay.
parts. So
Okay. So with this, because this is the only optics in principle. So thank you.